Another anti-Man of Steel video. That's never been done before. It's not like critics or YouTubers bitched about the movie for the past decade or anything. After Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, superhero movies were ashamed to call themselves, well, superhero movies. Everything had to be dark, gritty, miserable, and boring. Even a few non-MCU films were caught in the crossfire. It's safe to say Nolan damaged the brand to a near irreparable state. And that's why I'm making this video, because not even Superman was safe. After The Dark Knight Rises, Warner Bros. Thought it was a brilliant idea to have Nolan invite Zack Snyder of all directors. As if Nolan's trilogy wasn't depressing enough, he had to kick us while we were down and hire the Watchmen guy. And then have him direct a Superman movie. Yeah, that's definitely gonna work out. I don't see how that could go wrong in any way. In this video, I'm gonna review Man of Steel. I'm going to look at it with an objective, fair, and unbiased perspective. This review will be divided and scored into 3 sections: the story, characters, and the action. And then the summary to finish off the video. And just remember, it's my opinion, and if you don't like that, then please leave and don't be toxic.
Black people and trans people.
But anyway, let's get into the video. Now, let's talk about the story. If I'm going to be completely honest, I could not remember a majority of what happened in this movie, except for maybe the final battle. It was just so boring and confusing. Just like Batman Begins, it starts off not in chronological order. So the first 20 minutes is on Krypton with Superman's dad and way too much exposition that was not needed at all. Superman being the chosen one, boring politics just like the Star Wars prequels, very questionable design choices, and Superman's dad dying just so we could get a convoluted explanation for baby Superman to land on Earth. He lands somewhere in the United States, and he's raised by Ma and Pa Kent, who are the worst adoptive parents in cinematic history. Then the order of scenes is all over the place. Superman's on Deadliest Catch, an oil rig explodes, he saves the workers, then symbolism. Yeah, that shit happens a lot in these movies, by the way. Then he's a kid in a school bus that crashes in a river. Then he's working at a bar that destroys your truck if you don't tip the waitresses. Not much happens for the next 2 hours. Superman fights Zod, millions die, then Superman murders Zod in cold blood for no reason at all. Superman threatens to destroy the world if they chase him.
It's America's interest. I grew up in Kansas, General. About as American as it gets. Look, I'm here to help, but it has to be on my own terms. And you have to convince Washington of that, even if I were willing to try. What makes you think they'd listen? I don't know, General. Guess I'll just have to trust you.
He gets the girl because Henry Cavill is hot, and then the movie just ends. No post-credit scene, no cameos, and just no vision. Overall, I'm gonna have to give the story a 3 out of 10. Now, let's talk about the characters. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I could not remember any of the characters in this movie except for Superman. But even then, I don't really know if this is Superman. The movie's not even called Superman, it's called Man of Steel, and he doesn't really do that many Superman things. He doesn't save people, he doesn't smile, he just broods and murders people with no remorse. Superman
doesn't kill people.
Lois is a damsel in distress just like every other Chud fantasy. She doesn't have a character other than she follows Superman around, because Henry Cavill is very sexy, I can't lie about that. Women wouldn't follow me around if I had that power. Superman's dad is just Alfred from Nolan's Batman, just dramatic speeches with no substance. Ma and Pa Kent are the real villains in this movie. Pa tells Superman to let people die for no reason at all, and that the world isn't worth saving.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Maybe.
What the fuck kind of message is that supposed to send? Pa Kent even lets a tornado kill him, even though Superman could have used his super suck power on it. Zod is just another generic non-MCU villain with no goal other than invading Earth.
Oh, fuck. What the fuck? I'm not even supposed to be here. I hope I don't jack off. Oh, fuck.
Wanting to destroy humanity and rule the world, compared to a good villain like Thanos with a realistic motivation the audience can understand. There are also way too many villains for the first movie. I couldn't even remember Zod's goons. You know another superhero movie that flopped for having too many villains? Spider-Man 3. Another problem with this movie is that the characters don't talk like real people, just like the Star Wars prequels.
I want more. And I know I shouldn't.
Everyone either talks in speeches or is extremely monotone with no personality compared to the MCU.
You ever tried shawarma?
Because fun is not allowed. Overall, I'm going to have to give the characters a 4.5 out of 10. Now, onto what matters the most, in my opinion. The action. The thing is, when I watch a superhero movie, I just want to see someone get punched really hard. I will say, I do appreciate Snyder using CGI, unlike stubborn and pretentious too good for a green screen Christopher Nolan, but that still doesn't save the movie. The action is passable, except it's too hard to care when both of the characters are evil. I wasn't expecting to be disturbed and traumatized by a Superman movie, but Zack Snyder found a way to make my life even more miserable. What makes the MCU action so good is that we get to see the heroes punch and still be heroes. This movie doesn't exactly do that. The color grading is cold and lifeless. Everyone looks like they're suffering from a vitamin D deficiency, like it was filmed in the UK. Even the black people are pale. The action is definitely a step up from Nolan's, but it still took too long to see Superman punch somebody. I'm gonna have to give the action a 5.5 out of 10. The thing is, Man of Steel could have been a big start to a new cinematic universe with many sequels on the way. The problem is that Zack Snyder didn't want that. He wanted to play catch up with Marvel and skip all the way to Civil War and Infinity War, when he should have taken his time. Now we're never gonna get a sequel because this movie did not perform well. Don't even get me started on the rest of the cinematic universe. Snyder just wanted to self-insert himself into the movie and force us to watch his personal problems, when he should have just went to therapy. It would have been cheaper too. Overall, I'm going to have to give this movie a 3.5 out of 10. This might as well should have been an Omni-Man or Homelander movie. On the bright side, things are looking good for DC. We finally have a director that'll give the fans what they want. Cope and seethe, Snyder cultists.